So I grew up about 30, 45 minutes, depends on how fast you drive, what kind of traffic you got, from where we are right now. We're in like, downtown-ish area of Portland. So I grew up like, where I was telling y'all earlier, where I grew up, it was Intel was the main draw, aside from agriculture and just farms and people growing flowers and blueberries and hazelnuts and stuff like that. Like the majority of hazelnuts that people eat come from here. Like it's crazy. We actually have like a lot of agriculture stuff in Oregon. It's crazy. But where I grew up, I mean, it wasn't abnormal for me to be called the N-word cutting grass. We're the only black family in the neighborhood. One time I was out riding scooters with my homie. We used to be out there on the razor scooters, just smacking it. And it was like 10 o'clock at night, and the police pulled up on me and my friend. And probably 11 or 12, no, probably 13. I don't know, somewhere in that zone. And they pulled up and they were like, Mr. Williams, what are you guys doing out here? And I was like, answering questions that we ride scooters, clearly. And then they were like, you guys gotta have lights and you need to go home. We're like, all right, cool. Police officer left, and then my friend was like, how does he know your name? I was like, dog, this is just my life. Like, I've never met this person before. That officer, right? So, I mean, that's the way I grew up. But for me, I also understand that that's the way that it was gonna be. So it never, I guess it's not that it never bothered me. I just had accepted it really early, like really young. So I don't know how different it is now. I haven't lived in Hillsborough in a long time. My mom still lives there in the same house. Everybody knows that that's my mom's house, but they don't know my mom. More people know my mom here because of the coffee shop. My mom does a lot of work around mental health, more specifically around addictions. But yeah, I mean, every time I go, I still see it as the same place. I see more black people. There's always a lot of Mexican people. But I just don't know that it's any different. Yeah.
Did you ever feel like it was almost uncomfortable, like a target on your back that everyone knows who you guys are without knowing who you are?
For sure, yeah. I mean, to be honest, when I was hanging out with some knucklehead kids when I was in 6th grade, you start middle school in 7th grade here. So I was hanging out with some bad kids. We started stealing. My mom put me in private school to watch me. But the grocery store that I was stealing from, I could never go back in again. And I actually tried to tell my mom, like my mom worked from before I got up, and she was home when I probably should have been in the bed, like around like 11 o'clock or so. So even though I have an older brother and sister, I grew up like an only child, because it was mainly just me in the house by myself for a majority until my brother had a son, and then he lived in the house, and I took care of my nephew, who was actually Nori, who manages that stock or manages Concourse and New Shop. But I remember I got in trouble. I was out at the grocery store, and I was good at stealing. Like I was really good. I'm not even lying. Like I was great, and I hadn't been caught for a long time. And I was at the grocery store, took like a soda, some stickers, and like a sandwich or something like that. Sandwich, listen. When I got caught, I was like, hey, you guys, like first they was trying to stop me. I was like, y'all leave me alone. Then they said they was gonna call my mom. All black people. I was like, no, anything else, like please.
Anything but her.
And like the police officer showed up, they had me in handcuffs, I was up in the office, they took a photo of me with the stuff, put me on the wall of people who never come back again.
With the sandwich?
With everything. Yeah, I didn't get no bite, nothing. Employee of the month for sure. Every month for the next forever. But I got home before my mom got home. They had already called. I didn't think to like check. I wasn't like that smart. I didn't think to like check voicemail or nothing. But when my mom got home, she got home early that day. I told her, "Man, Mom, this crazy thing happened at the grocery store. They thought it was me stealing, but it was somebody else." My mom was like, "You know what the black people are here?
Aww.
What do you mean it's somebody else?" Yeah. And I think that happened in like